Good morning, everybody. Today I want to talk about anger and frustration. I've been homeless for a little over a month now. Hasn't been fun, but I get out, I see nature, I pet dogs, I find a park, I go for a walk. It's hard nowadays. It's not easy. I struggle. I have a disability. I have a traumatic brain injury, and I don't like the fact that people call it an injury. It's not. It's damage. And it hurts. When you have a traumatic brain injury, and you're not one of those that doesn't know what's going on, blissfully unaware, you suffer. And you suffer alone, because people don't see it. If you were to ask a person that has no limbs to just think positive, and if you put your mind to it, everything will be fine, as if the person can grow limbs, that just by attitude alone, you can overcome having no limbs. I'm not saying I'm like that. I'm just saying what we have as traumatic brain injured people is invisible. Nobody sees it. And it's hard on us. I'm quick to anger. I get frustrated easily. And just the fact that I have this phone in front of me, it hurts. Hurts my brain, hurts my eyes. But people need to know. People with traumatic brain injuries, it is not an injury. The fact that it's called a traumatic brain injury, it gives the connotation that it's an injury and we could get over it. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not one of the success stories, and a lot of us aren't. When you're younger, you can maybe overcome these things. And if you get injured, you can get help. You can be put into a coma. You can get rest. I went 3 years without any help. I lost my job. I lost my livelihood. I lost friends and family. They don't see me as injured. Well, they do. And an injury constitutes something that you can get over, like a sprained ankle. Please call what this is for all of us traumatic brain damage. I have a disability. I can't be online for very long. I can't watch television for very much. I can't do things on the internet. I can't even use navigation. It gets me frustrated and angry. I am sick and tired of hearing people saying, if you just pray enough, if you just think positively enough, you'll get over things. I get triggered. I don't even know when I'm triggered. I know there's other people out there that have suffered from traumatic brain damage. We aren't being seen. We get thrown in mental hospitals when it's a neurological thing. It is brain damage. It's not psychological. It is neuro. And they send us to pain specialists that are neurologists. That's for headaches. Yeah, I have headaches. I have migraines. They're awful. I also suffer from pain every day. Wake up with a headache, go to sleep with a headache. What you see doesn't mean that you just say, oh, you look great. You look great. Ask me what's going on mentally. How's your mentals? Stop being hurtful to those of us that suffer with this. I'm homeless. I know I'm not the only one that's homeless because of this. And you think we're drug addicts or we got psychological problems that we have to be locked up. The one thing that happens to us more than often than not, we get frustrated and angry. And the whole society right now is saying, if you're angry, that's not acceptable. It is acceptable for brain injured people. It is what we present, and we need help for it. We need compassion, not being locked up. I spent 3 days in a mental institution over a concussion on top of my brain injury, with no medication that I usually get, and nobody talking to me in an isolated room for 3 days without the medication that helps me go to sleep, helps me with my anxiety. And then a week later, I get locked up in jail for trespassing, which I wasn't. I was there because my dad got me a spot to sleep at a hotel. I had my bag, I had the key cards. The manager said, "You need to stop being angry. You need to leave." I walked around and I came around to the front lobby, and there's 2 police officers who put me in handcuffs, didn't read my Miranda rights to me, brought me to jail in a holding cell, and then stuck me in general population for 2 days and a night. I didn't even know what was going on. No lawyer, no talking to anybody. Never been in jail in my entire life, ever. And I had to suffer without medication for over a week and a half with a concussion and being gassed by natural gas in my place. I was dizzy. I hit my head. I had a concussion. I laid on the grass. Denver Health pins me to a gurney, to a table, or whatever you call those things they roll you away on, pins me down and gives me drugs and says I'm gravely disabled. I was gassed by natural gas from a leak in my apartment. And I had a concussion on top of having a traumatic brain injury. This is what I'm talking about. They automatically assume that you have issues that you don't. Society doesn't help traumatic brain injured people, traumatic brain damaged people. They say, he's angry, he's gravely disabled. Well, I'm on disability. Nobody asked me if I had a brain injury. Nobody asked me what my medication was. Nobody at all saw me for what I am disabled for. Thrown in an institution and thrown in jail, telling me I was trespassing without reading my Miranda rights. And then people wonder, why are you so angry? Why are you so upset all the time? There's a reason. I suffer a lot. Don't automatically assume that those of us that are angry and upset need to be locked up and medicated when we need some compassion, some empathy for who we are as people. There's people that are angry and you should help them, not shun them and tell them to leave. We're real people with disabilities. Everything in the medical industry is going to psychology, not neuropsychology or brain specialists for people with brain damage and concussions. I've gone over a month without being seen for being gassed and having a concussion with concussion syndrome. It's a real thing, and it hurts on top of a brain injury. Talk to a neuropsychologist, not a psychologist, a neuropsychologist. They were supposed to help us. Now they just test us, put them into a system that doesn't work for us. We're being shunned, we're being locked up, we're being thrown away by our families, our friends, our places of employment. I know I'm not the only one. I love my friends and family. They love me. Some of them understand what I go through, but a lot of them don't. I love my friends. I love you, regardless of what you say or how you treat me. I have God in my life. Not a lot of people do. I pray, I clean myself, I repeat over and over. It helps. This is who I am, people. It's not fun, it's not easy, but I have to present a nice person, a person who isn't angry, because as soon as I do, or be frustrated, you put a label on me like I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm a little silly sometimes. I get angry a lot, but that's my disability. There's other things I deal with, but I'm not going to go into that. It's just not going to be helpful. But please, see people like me that need help, not locked up. Ask questions. Even if they're angry, ask them why they're angry. And if they can't tell you, they need help. They need a neuropsychologist. They need brain injury specialists. They need concussion specialists. We don't have that in the United States. All of this specific things for us is going into neurology for headaches and psychology for things that aren't us. Bipolar disorder, suicide prevention, all kinds of things that we don't need. We need sleep. All of us need sleep. Most of us with these traumatic brain damage, we don't sleep. And then people are like, why are you angry? Try not sleeping for years. And then have people go, well, what happened to you? Why are you so angry? And you need to stop being angry. I don't understand what you're saying. Try. Just try. Please. My own family doesn't see me as a brain injured person. And it's not injury, it's damage. It's because they call it a traumatic brain injury. And then they call it mild. You know what the severe is? You're a vegetable and somebody has to take care of you all the time. I function, not very well, but people say, oh, you can get a job. What job can you do with not having a screen in your face? Empathize, people. There'll be more to come. I'm sorry this is a long one, but it had to be said. Love you. Be mindful, please. Anybody that suffers with traumatic brain injury, traumatic brain damage, you need to find mindfulness. Look into mindfulness. It is the most important thing that we can do.